Yeah, when I first got into the stem cell field, I thought, oh my God, there are all these different sources. Which one should I use? Because I want to give people the best. Whichever is the best, that's what I'm going to do. I'm happy to learn about bone marrow extraction or fat extraction, but I just need to know which one is the best. So I started to dig into scientific literature to find out what people have found as far as the differences between these sources. And that's how my, the lecture, it's called Are All MSCs Created Equal? How that came about, because I was giving direct evidence to show people what the differences are. And really, when you look at across the board, let's say we take stem cells from your fat or bone marrow versus from the umbilical cord. In every aspect, whether or not you're looking at anti-inflammatory actions or neuroprotective effects, or how many generations the cells have left and how wide their differentiation potentials are, and also just how long their telomeres are. They've looked at all these parameters. In every parameter, it shows that umbilical cord stem cells are way superior than the other stem cells.
And this, you're using umbilical stem cells.
Yeah.
And when you use umbilical stem cells, this issue with something like donor compatibility is not an issue because umbilical cells are kind of neutral.
Exactly.
And you don't get any of like mom's DNA or anything like that in the umbilical cells?
Not from the umbilical cord. If you use placental, the placental tissue is a combination of mother's cells and the baby cells. But if you use umbilical cord cells, it's only from the baby. So that is another reason that I prefer that. So some people will, will say, well, cells from the fat is highly protected. They're hibernating. So there's no effect on their viability or as far as toxic damage. And if you just use common sense, you can understand that that's probably not true, because I want you to think about your own sperm or someone's egg, right? Sperm and egg decline as we age, right? Those should be the most protected, the most precious resource in the human's body.
Which is why it could be riskier to say, like, have a child when you're later in life.
Exactly. So if your sperm and egg decline as you age, why wouldn't every other stem cell in your body decline, right? Nature would have done its very best to protect the sperm and egg, and it couldn't, because the toxic damage is everywhere to all your cells, including your stem cells. So as we age, our own stem cells number decline like falling off a cliff. When you were born, every 1 in 10,000 cells is MSC. So that's a mesenchymal stem cell. That's the hottest stem cell right now. But when you reach your teenage years, it's already become 1 in 100,000. So 1/10. And when you reach your 40s, that's 1 in 400,000. And when you reach your 80s, is 1 in 2 million. So you can see the cliff, how that falls off.
Yeah.
And that's why there's an acceleration of aging, right? 20s, you can't quite tell that you're aging. 30s, okay, I can see the signs. 40s, all of a sudden, 50s, right? You're dropping off a cliff. You look a lot different. And, everything is declining rapidly. You have fast accumulation of chronic illnesses because the decline, the inflammation has come to a point where all these diseases that's time for them to flourish, right? That's how they come on board. So you really want to prevent that kind of inflammatory and immune dysregulated state. And that's why stem cells can be so powerful at extending youth.
So when you're extending youth and you're doing these infusions every 3 months, you're literally just doing an umbilical stem cell infusion on a
simple IV
basis.
infusion.
Center of the IV, how long does it take?
The whole process, if we add the ozone therapy, probably about an hour and a half.
Wow.